Hey everyone, this is Ageless Inspiration, where I get to explore the stories of extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. My guest today is Brian Roesler, inventor of the 30-second dance party button, and I'm so excited just to dive right in. So, welcome, Brian, or should I say, Jam Sanderton?
Thank you so much for having me, Pat.
You're welcome. Say, Jam, for those that are new to the dance party button, what is it and how does it work?
So the 30-second dance party is a ridiculous toy. Think like the Staples Easy button that came out a few years ago. And basically you press the button, a German voice comes on that goes 30-second dance party, and then it plays 30 seconds of music. We made it in Christmas 2020. We made 1,000 of them kind of as a joke. And they sold out in 2 days, and now here we are 5 years later, and they've really taken off, as Pat knows, with schools. We've had school districts buy like 3,000 buttons for every teacher in the district, and teachers use them as brain breaks in the classroom and also to transition from subjects. So, hey, we just finished English, let's go to math. Let's get up, get the wiggles out before we sit back down and learn some more.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm curious, are you a dad?
I am not a dad. I do have a niece and a nephew. And that's kind of what's funny about this. The journey was I made this because I thought it would be a joke, a funny joke, for like white elephant gifts for offices. So we had no idea that it would have this, kind of entire life, both with like kids and parents and classrooms and all that. So it's been a lot of fun watching it kind of grow and evolve.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, sometimes when I tell people about you and how generous you've been with the STEAM Race to Space Reading Challenge, as given kids as prizes for doing their reading that they're supposed to do, and just how generous you've been is really lovely. But however, that when I try to explain it to people, I always say, "You remember the pet rock?" And everybody goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And I go, "This is today's modern pet rock."
That's what we always joke. It's like the pet rock, the snuggie. There's all these things where you're just like, how is this really a thing? And that's what we every day we're just like, I can't believe this is what we get to work on. Like it's so fun to kind of have
That's
this just
amazing. So, I introduced you as Jam Sanderton, though your real name is Brian. Tell us about this playful pseudonym. Where did it come from, and why did you choose to use it for your product?
so we when we were first getting ready to launch, we were like, as you and I have just discussed, this thing is absolutely ridiculous. So we were like, how do we talk about it? How do we market it? And we were thinking about that. We were like, wouldn't it be funny if we did like almost like a spoof on Apple, where this is the most innovative thing ever created, and we talk about it, in the videos, and we shoot shots of it as if it's like this really cutting edge technology. And so when we actually had a friend who's British that was gonna do it. He was gonna sit down, be the voice, similar like Johnny Ive at Apple. And then he got sick at the last minute. And so I was like, well, we already have, everybody's kind of set up, ready to go. I guess I'll just step in and do it. And so I stepped in, pretended to be this just ridiculous, out of touch kind of Apple-esque CEO. And that's kind of where it all came from, and it's been so fun to do ever since. Like that's kind of all of us, like that's our favorite part of working on this, is just getting to do all this like super ridiculous jam content.
I love it. Going back to the origination of the idea, how in 2020 it was kind of a joke and you thought it'd be for business, but what was the reaction of your friends and family when you first shared it with them?
Yeah, I mean, so mixed. It's so funny. So many people are like, I don't, like I don't get it. But the people with kids were like, oh no, this is gonna be great, right? People with kids totally understand. And that's, when you get one of these and you give it to a kid, like anywhere between, 2 and 10, they just absolutely light up and they just sit there just for hours. I've gotten more text messages and emails from people who are like, I have to put this on top of the fridge because my kids won't stop playing with it.
I'll share you a story that I purchased it before I knew you, and but so I,
Hmm.
I added to your bottom line. Thank you. Uh,
Thank you.
and I took it to my granddaughter's graduation party from high school. And oh my gosh, because she's got younger siblings, right? And I can attest firsthand that it was like my daughter was like, "Get that thing here." I go, "Well, there's an off button." But the kids, no, they could not stop playing with it and loved it. So it's a really fun product. And so where was it? Where was there a breakthrough moment when you thought this is actually going to work?
When we sold out in those first 2 days, we were kind of like, oh, this might be a thing. And so what we ended up doing is we ended up leaving the site active, and we were like, hey, if you want to buy this button, we'll ship it to you, in 8 weeks when we get more stock in. We sold another 5,000 buttons over the next 2 weeks doing it that way. And so that was kind of this moment we were like, oh my gosh. The other moment that was like super impactful for all of us is probably within the first 3 months, we got an email from this special education teacher, and she was like, hey, I've got this like autistic student who's like nonverbal, and I used the button to like connect with them and communicate with them. And it was kind of just this like moment where we're like, oh my gosh, this is just like so much bigger and better than we could have ever imagined. It was almost this like responsibility, like, hey, we have to like keep doing this. Like this is having a bigger impact than we ever could have imagined.
Isn't that's what a beautiful story to share. Thank you so much for sharing that with our. I know that there'll be other families that'll be watching this and think, "Oh, that's really cool." Um, so I guess my thinking of with that answer to that question is let's say many of our viewers are parents or grandparents
Mhm.
who see their kids or grandkids come up with wild and wacky ideas. So what advice would you give to those families about encouraging that spark of creativity?
That is, I mentor a bunch of other startups, and that's the advice. Like everybody that I talk to is just like, hey, like just go out there and do it. Like there's no point in kind of waiting. And with the world we live in now, with the internet, you can learn how to do almost anything watching YouTube videos or reading articles. And you just have access to all of these resources of like finding people if you have an idea that can like make you a prototype or make you, a first run of 100 units or kind of whatever it is. I see so many people too. I have a friend whose daughter is starting like a little bag business, and she's selling them on Etsy, and it's starting to go well. It's just so easy in today's world to just be able to start a business and get out there and do it. So that's my biggest advice is just don't wait. Like now's the time. Get out there and go chase it.
And how did you put together your team? And so for the folks that, especially those that have an interest in science, technology, engineering, and math. I mean, did you need an engineer? Did you need a graphic design? I mean, tell us the nuts and bolts of getting this into market.
Yeah, so the nuts and bolts for this in particular is I started reaching out to factories uh that were making similar products. And I was like, hey, I have an idea for this thing. What would be the cost for you guys to produce me a prototype? And then they sat back, and it was super reasonable. You can go on, there's a ton of websites that help you find suppliers, Alibaba being one of them. There's other ones out there. And you can just reach out directly to manufacturers, and most of them are like very easy to work with, very willing to kind of help you bring your product to life. So that was kind of the first step. And then my background is in software development and marketing. So you just get a Shopify site. You can get a Shopify site for $30 a month, get it all set up. Very easy. There's templates on there.
Well,
We did all
say
the
it a little slower. What was the site?
Shopify. Do you know Shopify?
No.
It's shopify.com. It's this like e-commerce kind of platform, and it's really easy. You can go on there and just sign up and build a site using like drag and drop, like, hey,
Oh,
put my
okay,
product here and
okay.
do it. So it's very, very easy to be able to add products and kind of do that whole thing. And really that's all you need. We fulfilled the first 1,000 products ourselves out of basically our garages. And then we just kind of went from there. Now we're in a warehouse.
Yeah, now you're a warehouse.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, is this your full-time job or do you also do other, I mean, is this your full commitment or is it split?
This has been full time as of about 6 months ago, pretty much. But previous to that, I was doing a lot of consulting for. I used to work at Nike in innovation, and I left that to start an agency that did kind of innovation consulting for companies. So I still do a little bit of that now, but I'm trying to do that less and less and focus more on this. And I can really tell like we're having better results and we're getting more done when I am able to kind of focus a little bit more. So
Funny how that works out.
yeah, isn't that funny that your time is important in making things succeed? So yeah.
So I'm just kind of curious then, how often do you hit the dance party button?
Oh, so we just got in volume 3, which is now available on the website as of this week. And so we've been hitting a lot of volume 3 dance party buttons. There's some really fun songs on the new one. But
And,
yeah,
and do
it's
you have a
great.
special dance that you like to do?
We dude, Jam in a lot of the Jam videos does a lot of dancing. It is all terrible, but I love it. And I love to dance. So I mean the reason that this came about is because I was with some friends in their kitchen. I was like, I wish there was a button right now that I could just hit and just dance for 30 seconds. And so here we are.
And we're just about to wrap up, Jam. So I just want to say, especially for the grandparents listening
Mhm.
to this on Grand Magazine, um, any advice you want to give about their kids and encouraging creativity and any last minute tips for them?
It's been so funny. We have had so many kids actually send us like hacks for the button. Like one of them put a spinner on top, and if you spin it, whoever it points at has to push the button and dance, and like all these different things. So, you know, creativity is everywhere, and it's so fun just to be able to cut kids loose. And we had a classroom send us a bunch of ideas for products, and we were going to end up doing one of them because like little kids are just so
Wow,
creative. It's awesome. Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, Jam Sanderton, thank you for bringing joy and a little dancing into our lives. I'm sure that folks are going to really get a lot out of this, and just really appreciate your time and your creativity and your love of innovation. And it's been a great, great moment for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Matt.